Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless podcast. This will be for Wednesday, October 21st, 2020 of our Lord. As always, I'm your host, Big Irish J, and we have the Megamind, a.k.a. Massive Megalodon, a.k.a. Mr. Magoo, a.k.a. Mighty Morphin Manny Martin.
Oh, shit, that was dope. That's my new name, Mighty Morphin Manny Martin. That is gangster.
That's from Natasha Vincent. I was like,
I love you, Natasha.
She watches the podcast, you know, and last time I was like, I got to think up some nicknames, so she listed off a bunch of them.
That's amazing. I love it.
That was such a long delay. That's so creepy. It was like,
oh,
and?
Shit. Hold on. Hold on.
What's up? What are you doing? What are you doing, Manny?
Telling the wife to unplug other streaming devices.
Oh, okay. First to start off, let's give a Phil Fox update / sighting. Not sighting, but I literally just talked to Phil. We're recording this on Tuesday the 20th, and I talked to Phil about an hour ago. He is now officially out of the rehab place or whatever. I don't know what all the terms are. He has the one place that he's been for a month where he couldn't talk on, or he didn't have his cell phone, didn't have internet access, nothing like that. And now he just today moved into what we kept calling a halfway house. I don't know if that's the right term. The good thing is he can tell us what they all are because he will be back this week. Probably this weekend we're going to record a HollingsWorthless, myself, Phil, Manny, maybe Sean if Sean can get some fucking equipment.
Dude, I'm so excited. We haven't been together since Halloween, I don't think, of last year.
That's
so
right.
It's about a year.
Oh, dude, it'll be the year anniversary.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be so dope. I'm so excited that he's back and gonna be doing better and I hear he has some big news to tell us, so I'm really excited about that.
Yes, he'll be coming out with some big news, and he's like 40 days sober as of right now.
Wow.
So that's awesome. I'm pretty. I tell him all the time I love him, I'm proud of him, all that stuff. So and he also, in typical, I'm excited for the people that don't know about Phil to be able to experience Phil. Like just in the 2-minute conversation I was having with him, I wanted to fucking kill him again. And we're sitting there laughing because I was like, because I told him, I was like, oh, you should listen to the last podcast. It was, we talked about a lot of old Phil Fox stories. And he goes, oh, the one with Manny? I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh. Is that Love and I go, no, it's the HollingsWorthless one. He goes, no, but you're doing another podcast with Manny, right? I go, yeah. And he goes, so did you guys do it? I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. It's on the HollingsWorthless, you fuck. Dude.
Oh my God, it's just like Phil. I love Phil. He just never listens, but that's Phil. Phil would be one. Yeah, he'd be one of the perfect like Hollywood celebrities like that you would just love and just love to hate. You know what I mean? It's just like he's just so goofy. He's so lovable. You just want to hug him and also slap him at the same time.
Yes.
It's so good.
Oh my God, dude. So I told you we were talking the other day, and you were telling me you called me to tell me about something, and I was like, bro, we gotta talk about this on the on the podcast. So your improv class, you got in trouble.
Yes, I got in trouble. So like, it's so much different than comedy, right? It's like me and you, when we're like in comedy, it's just us. You know what I mean? It's just us on stage versus a crowd. Doesn't matter what I say. You can like me or dislike me, but it's always contingent on just me and whatever my rules are for myself. So, I've been in it for 4 weeks, and you're just kind of improving. Somebody brought me into a scene, and they were being like the mom.
I love all the
character.
Improv lingo you're using. They're gonna bring me into a scene. I'm gonna yes and it.
Yeah. So she brings me into the scene. And she's like, well, Manny, why did you pick on the girl next door?
I know I'm fucking I'm being a Phil right now. Because I want to set it up. Okay, so this is how long has this session of your class been going on at this point?
So Okay, so for people who don't know, I've been in this thing for like maybe 4 weeks, and this class, it had been going on for roughly probably about 30 minutes at this point. Like
Okay,
we're into this class, right?
and what's happening is do you have like a partner that you and just that partner are doing the scene, or is there?
No, so this is okay. So to kind of set it up, imagine Zoom, right? But
Yeah.
then you cut off the cameras, and it's just audio. So you're basically painting the picture with just nothing but narrative. And, everybody's feeding off each other. Everybody's creating a scene. It's like, oh, hi, wife, and hi, husband, and, hi, kid. And they're all trying to make it funny, right? So, already.
I would totally, since there's no cameras, I'd be like, hello, Manny. Why is there a dildo on your head? Just the most random, because you got to yes and it, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? So yeah, picture that. So it's just black screen, everybody, and you hit the letter T and you can tag in. But I didn't tag in. It's already like 20, 30 minutes into this thing, and I'm not really participating. I'm not feeling it. I'm tired. And so one of my like really good friends, she brings me in to it, and she's like, "So Manny, why were you so mean to the girl next door? I just don't understand. I thought you were, friends." And I was like, so I'm pretending to be a kid, and I'm like, "Mom, it's just I'm so mad at her. She stole my Legos. She's just a straight biznatch." And when I said biznatch, you know what I mean? Apparently that was a no-no, and I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even say. And so when I like this neighbor that I was talking about wasn't even being played by anybody. It wasn't like a female. It wasn't anybody. This is just a figment of my imagination. I'm being an asshole kid. So I throw out biznatch, and thinking to myself, like, I didn't want to say bitch because, like, in my head, that's like even worse, right? But I mean, I'm trying to be PC as much as I could be, but it's so weird because, and I'm not trying to make light of anybody's feelings, but okay, let me just, I know, okay, let me get
even saying the word.
Exactly. So anyways, I get through, and I think everything's good. We get to the very end of the class, and the leader of it is like, "Hey, I just want to let you guys know that this is supposed to be a safe space, and that we have to be careful about what words we say." And, and then one of the girls chimes in, is like, "Yeah, I don't think anybody should ever use the word bitch." And I was like, and in my head, I forgot about the whole biznatch thing. And I'm like, who said the word bitch? Like, and I text my buddy, and she was like, "Oh yeah, remember when you said biznatch?" I was like, what? I was like, is that what it was? You know what I mean? And like, and so I'm like, I'm feeling bad, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I didn't even call anybody, this word. And so anyways, we get back into it. And I'm talking to my friend, and it's for people who really don't understand. Like, one, I'm a comic. My verbiage is probably a little more out there than most. When you're improving, I'm not thinking, I'm just creating a character and just off the cuff, right? But even in like the black like culture, it's like I can't tell you how much we use the word bitch. Like, my sister calls me up and she's like, "Hey bitch," you know what I mean? And
then I call like bitches bitch.
But I did feel bad. It's like I never want to make somebody feel any kind of way. So
dude, that's their fucking hang-ups. I don't. First of all, you didn't even say the word. I wish when she was like, I love that she didn't say, "Hey Manny." She goes, "Guys." You said that she did it like, "Hey guys, I think this should be a safe space for blah." I would have loved if you chimed in and you're like, "Yeah, bitches, don't be saying no crazy shit."
It's crazy, man, because it's like there's a part of me that already like was hesitant to do improv, and now I'm even more like not wanting to do it now because it's like I'll always have to censor myself and always have this dialogue in the back of my head.
It doesn't seem like you, that 100%. Like, that's all I was thinking about. Like, if I'm taking this class, like, and you have your reasons for taking the class, whatever those are, they're great. Cool. I applaud you. But like, I always think of it like putting myself in it. So if I was in this class, and I don't know why I'm taking it, but if I'm taking it, it wasn't something like I was like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to this," and then I'm in it, and then someone's like, "Jay, can you not say biznatch?" I would just be like, "Oh yeah, I won't say anything other than cancel this." I'm fucking done. Oh my god.
Yeah. You know what the hardest part about it is that
your
like
penis.
It's so stupid. Oh man, it's like,
so
I think just as like going back to just how I grew up, like, I mean, black people, we loud, you know what I mean? We like to talk a lot. We talk a lot of shit. I think about Richard Pryor, man, like when he was talking about his mom and his dad, how they converse and how they had fun. He's like, "Hey bitch, where the food?" And just like playing around, and she's like, "Hey, goddamn motherfucker," and all this like. But here's the funny thing is everybody in the class, they swear, they say fuck, they say shit, they say all kind of stuff. But it was crazy that like Biznatch was the one to really like,
dude,
like
fucking
throw him over the edge.
I do that. I would just be like, there's so many things I'd want to say. I'd look at him like, hey, has everybody got their Zoom cameras on? And everybody like, yeah. I'd be like, okay, cool. So I don't see any like fucking 6-year-olds here. We're all fucking adults, right? I said a no word. I didn't even say it. Oh God. Plus they say swearing is a sign of intelligence.
Ah, there you go.
It's true. I'm serious. Like that's a fucking thing I read.
Oh shit! There you go. Well,
that's
hey,
all I got. Some fucking scientist said it. I read it.
I don't know if you heard about this. Did you hear about the CNN guy who left his Zoom camera on and was beaten off? Wow.
Yeah,
dude. Like
he used the same excuse you did that last time we zoomed. Manny's like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. You should do that on your crazy. Next improv.
Sorry, guys, you got to cancel me.
You're like, no, I got a shake weight. It's a shake weight. See, look. If you're looking at this angle, imagine a shake weight.
It's so. This class has been it taught me something that
you hate improv.
Yeah, exactly, right. But it's in my heart of hearts, I'm a comic, and it's like that'll always be my first love, and being on stage, being free to talk. And I mean, like there's a joke that I do with Crystal where, I don't know if you remember the racist ghost.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And like in the thing she says, she's like, Manny, there's no such thing as a racist ghost. And I literally go, I'm like, bitch, there's a racist ghost in here, and it's just, and it gets a good pop. And it's like, it's, I think there's certain words that just work with your set. And it's like, I couldn't imagine. I mean, what word would you use instead of biznatch if you were an asshole kid trying to.
Try that one next time. See how they respond to that. She's being a kizunt.
It's so stupid.
Dude,
man. But
yeah, I mean, it's the other thing too is like my stand-up. I mean, they say your on stage persona is just you turned up a little bit, and I mean, I swear in my everyday life, I grew up. My dad, swore. My grandmother didn't. My grandfather didn't really. My grandmother would say like, oh, Hector, and I'm like, Hector? Who the fuck is Hector, Grandma? And she'd say, "Oh, Hector," God. Or other. She would never swear, but my pop swore, and that's and I actually, and I think I swear and like say words the same way my pops does, like Jesus Christ, because my dad would always be like when he's frustrated or whatever, I say it the same. He'll go, Jesus Christ.
The funny thing was all I could hear in my head was like, oh God, here we go, PR Manny. You know what I mean? Just like, oh fuck. It's, you got to be so cordial, and like that's the big thing is you don't want to offend anybody in this day and age because you don't want to get canceled, man. And it's
you know what I would, dude. The other thing, just think about it, and I know it's it's past. You've already had that moment, but I would almost want to respond where I'm like, I think this should be a free space. And for me to work freely, I can't worry about filtering my words, because then I'm not going to be in the moment. Because now you're going to say something, I'm supposed to react off it. I have my first initial reaction, but now I have to stop that, put the brakes on it, filter it, go, okay, wait, is this going to offend anyone? Is this going to be a word that's a no word to them that's going to hurt their widow feelings?
Exactly.
Then so it's not I would say I want a free space like that where I can be free as an artist, or an improv artist.
And it's also tough because it's like it's it's all white people and
gross.
And one half Asian and white guy. But I mean, they're nice people. It's like it's tough because I don't think everybody knows your experience as a black man, like, and how your verbiage might be and shit. I just grew up around that. I remember my uncle and my aunt fighting, and my aunt would be like, "Bitch, who you going home with?" to my uncle, and he was like, "God damn, Sherry."
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was, he was a pro football player, then he was a longshoreman. My uncle was a cop, and they're two of the biggest shit talkers I know. I mean, I've told the story before about Christmas in the Hollingsworth family, but I remember being at my grandparents', and my uncle's there in full police uniform. I think he was obviously he was working, but in between shifts, and we're having breakfast. And my dad's there, and my grandmother's brought out goldenrod, which we would have every year, which you can Google it. It's fucking so bomb, eggs. But so my grandmother would give everybody the plate, and I remember my dad like pointing at my uncle's plate with his little butter knife or whatever, like going like, "See, Mom, you gave him more. I knew you loved him more than me." And my uncle going like this with his fork, fucking jabbing at my dad's hand, going, excuse you, like this. So then my dad grabs the knife. He goes, "Hey, motherfucker, this is Christmas morning." He grabs his little knife and he's like, "Hey, motherfucker." And my uncle puts his hand on his gun. He's like, "Oh, shit, you gonna bring a fucking knife to a gunfight?" I'm like, God bless us, everyone.
Dude, those are the best. I mean, and that, and I think that most comics, most true comics, come from households like that. It's we've worked with Tony Rock, and I mean, I mean, that's how he grew up with Chris and all them. Just talking all kind of shit. And you see it on stage where he does his woman impression, and he's like, "Hey, bitch, let me tell you this, bitch," and it's like, that's just our vocabulary. So.
Such a good comic, dude. Tony is such a good comic. Crusher. His fucking Tony, Fat Tony. That was high. So how many more classes do you have of your PG improv?
So Crystal has said that I need to at least do commit to 4 months.
Wait, what? To commit to what?
4
months?
So, but it's only once.
Wait,
a week.
You said 4 months?
Yeah, but so I'm already done with a month, so I think I've only got like.
God damn! That's
so.
more commitment than some of my relationships. 4 months. So that's what 4, 16. That's 16,
12 weeks.
18-ish, 18 to 20 classes.
Oh yeah.
Roughly.
So, but and then also it's like I'm just kind of doing this while comedy isn't going on because I don't want to do the Zoom comedy, which and
I understand that. I get that.
I'm not O negative like you, so I run the risk of actually dying at a show.
But you are AIDS positive. And I'll be honest with you, like, dude, I had my next month. I was supposed to go to Billings, that got canceled, just like the other day, and then this Saturday I was supposed to do 2 shows here in Vegas, and the dude, I've been talking to him. He's like, "Looks like it's going to get canceled. Let's just plan to reschedule." Yeah. He's like, "I haven't heard back yet, but it's not looking good." So, I'll be honest with you, dude. Like, our Love in Black and White podcast and this, and then I do the daily videos and everything, and all of that. It's my little bit of a fix. Probably shouldn't use that reference when Phil's back, but it's my Phil won't give a fuck. It's like it's that morphine, or it's slowly getting a little bit of a drip, and it's.
I'm with you. It's like it's the one thing I really look forward to is just being able to laugh with you, and like we just shoot the shit back and forth, and it's like sometimes even just talking, we'll come up with new bits, and it's like I should come out of this pandemic with at least 20 new minutes of material. So
I should have like a good 20 seconds.
It's so hard to fucking write when nothing's going on,
dude. Because I mean, a lot of we're both storytellers, and a lot of my stories, I always say anything I say on stage is either something I believe strongly in, like if I'm trying to make a point about something, or something that happened to me. And, my life experiences right now are this,
yeah.
I'm getting a doggy first week in December. That'll be a new.
That's going to be some good material.
She's been sending me the pictures. What'd you say?
That's going to be some good material.
Oh, yeah. If I don't fucking kill it. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I would say that.
Did I?
If the lady that's the breeder listens to this, this might not be a good idea. And your improv group, they're like, Manny, we thought you liked us.
What's so funny is I did the last real event that I had happen to me was a bus ride that I had over here where I live. So in the complex, there's this black gay guy who's just always like amped up to level like 10, and he like
what
hits
do you mean?
on me.
Wait,
in
what
front
does
of
that
Crystal.
mean, Manny?
I mean, he's just like, his level is like up here, and he's like, "Hey, Manny, how you doing today?" I don't have to be PC Manny on this shit. That's how he is.
This one you can be fucking inappropriate Manny.
But anyway, like, a super nice guy. But you know me, I'm always so accommodating of everybody, right?
Yeah.
And he literally, like, if he sees me in the apartment complex, he's like, "Oh, hey, neighbor, how you doing?" And he's got this long black hair, kind of looks like a skinnier version of James Brown with Little Richard, right? And so one morning, he's like following me to the bus stop, right? And he's just talking, and I'm just like, oh God, here we go. It's too early for this shit. And then he gets on the bus with me, right? And he just keeps talking, and he's like, my boyfriend, he watches porno, but I don't have to watch that shit because I don't need that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And there's just tons of people around me, and so they think I'm like this guy's best friend, and I'm like, fuck. And then he literally says, I swear to God this happened, he said, because I suck a mean dick, and when he said dick, a piece of spit flew out of his mouth, landed on my lip, and I was like, ah! And I didn't close my mouth for the rest of the ride. I was like this. I was like, oh shit. And I waited till I got to my office and put like hand sanitizer on my lip. And it was the worst fucking experience, man.
He's like, I suck a mean dick. As a matter of fact, here's a piece of it.
I literally was like, I either have sperm on my lip or like, it was so bad.
And
oh
it
my
just
God,
time.
man.
Did you see it coming or you just felt it?
I saw it like in mid-flight, and
then
I was
that's
like,
slow mo. That's when the slow mo kicks in, and you're like,
"Yep,
no."
Dude, it was so bad. I was like, "Oh God,
dude." That reminds me when I was doing MMA. James DeMille was the student of Bruce Lee's and the head instructor. His nephew Kenny DeMille. Kenny is like 6'4", I think. And he's like my width, like he's like a 6'4" version of me as far as size, except he is like wood. He's like solid, no fat, and he's like a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in Wing Chun Do. He's a bad motherfucker. Well, he always wanted to. Whenever we would do jiu-jitsu and roll, I didn't know what I was doing. When I'm first starting out, I basically was just a fucking rag doll for him, but he always wanted to roll with me because I was the only person that was bigger, like close to his size. And I remember one time, dude, we're rolling, and he had like a square goatee that came down, about 2 or 3 inches. And Kenny is like, he would like putting on his gi, he would start sweating, right? So we're rolling, they say in jiu-jitsu you're rolling. We're rolling. We're not really rolling though, because I don't really know what I'm doing, but he's on top. And I just remember I'm like trying to maneuver, and he's got one little sweat droplet on the end of his beard that's just jiggling as we're maneuvering. And you're doing jiu-jitsu, so you're fucking breathing hard, and all of a sudden, and then I'm looking up as he's on top of me and I'm trying to maneuver, and I see that droplet break free from his beard, and then slow motion, like you said, I watch it slowly dangling, coming down, and I'm breathing hard, and I was like, no, right in my mouth. Oh, fucking wide open mouth. Right in it. I think I was inhaling too because I'm just like, it falls, and I'm like, and I fucking just go, And Kenny's like, he's like a fucking grizzly bear, and he sounds like it too. And he kind of chuckles and is like, sorry. And I'm like, there's fucking nothing I can do, Kenny. Oh, God, dude. Oh, I still think that's 20-some years ago, and I still fucking have nightmares. Oh.
Dude, it's like I think about it. It's like I wash my face, but how often do I wash my goatee? Like, I don't know, fucking.
Oh, why would you tell me that? I didn't even think of that shit. I remember one time I was rolling with him, and he was on he's on top. He's always in the mount because I fucking didn't know what I was doing at the time, and he just fucking immediately. And I always worry about my knees in jujitsu, joints and shit. I just remember him whooping around and goes to fucking bend on a knee bar, and I fucking screamed. I just go, tap! I fucking started hitting his back because I was like, I was like, here's where my fucking knee just gets snapped. But he was, he's a professional.
Oh.
He's great.
Jesus Christ, man! Like that. I'm always so amazed that you did like mixed martial arts. I've always wanted to do it, but in hindsight, I feel like there's so much that you just have to take into account. You got to be good on your hand. You got to be able to have good stand-up game, good ground game, good feet, good hands, and I mean just like cat-like reflexes in order to do any type of MMA. And it's so funny to me thinking about how Roger right now is trying to get this boxing shit going, and it's just like I would probably say like 5 years ago I'd be into this. Like I'd be like, oh dude, I'm in kind of good shape. It's not gonna be that hard to get back into it, but it's like, fuck, man, there's no way I could get back in shape running miles. I worry about my knees, my like ankles, and because it's just like what did Rocky's coach say? Mickey, he was like, you got to train for 1,000 rounds or something like that.
Oh. Well, dude, the other thing too is as you get older, you start thinking about like, when you're young, you just think of you're in the moment. You're thinking of like, fucking whether you're playing basketball or whatever, you're like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And, you're only like down the road thoughts are like getting your black belt or getting to the championship of whatever sport or whatever. Now, my long-term thoughts are like, all right, so when I get injured, what is this a permanent thing? Do I have insurance that'll cover it? Exactly. Dude, that's immediately all I'm thinking about with anything,
Mm-hmm. Dude, it's so funny because I remember I tried to get a bunch of guys that were comics to play basketball, and everybody must have been over like 30, and I can't tell you, there were like 2 comics that canceled because they were like, oh man, my insurance just lapsed. I was like, what the fuck?
But now you get it.
I get it. I totally get it because if I tear something and I don't get insurance, I'm fucked.
Dude,
so
that's what I was thinking about that not the other day. This is a few years ago. Just about, and I mean, I'm sure there's ways you can work around it, and I don't know them just because, knock on wood, I haven't been put into that position. But like right now, I don't have insurance right now. I have no insurance.
Right.
God forbid, let's say, something, I feel a twitch, something weird. I go in to get checked, and I got to pay some crazy amount just to get checked. And then they go, okay, we found you have cancer. Okay, now what? Now, does that just mean like, okay, so they go, you have cancer. I go, okay, cool. And they go, do you have insurance? And I go, no. And they go, all right, man, best of luck. I mean,
dude, it's so crazy, and it makes you wonder like how Quincy got through that, because I doubt he had any type of coverage. But I feel like there's got to be some sort of maybe Medicaid or something like that where maybe they take care of people. I mean, that's the importance of the Affordable Care Act, right? Is that you want to cover as many people because Obama's mom died because I guess she didn't have coverage, and that's really what. You know what I mean? And that's initially, I think, his push to really want to do that. But, everything has to be uber political. And, I'm sure that it could be better. But shit, I don't think that there's any reason that there shouldn't be a kid out there who doesn't get coverage if something bad happens like that. But
that terrifies me. Like, I'm coming up on a major birthday. The next one where I got to get the fucking up in the tutor. So,
maybe we'll both go together.
Yeah, actually, you can just do it on me. I bring you in. Doctor's like, oh, is he here to observe? Oh, no. You just tell him what to do. He'll do it. You bring your gay neighbor. I've done this thousands of times. I'll help you.
So stupid.
Then he fucking spits on my lip.
Oh my god, man! Yeah, it's
how there's not a worse timing on that of right after him finishing a sentence saying, "I suck a mean
that's the
dick,"
thing.
and then that fucking dick residue fucking goes on your lip.
And the worst part is he wasn't being nonchalant about it. Is the whole bus was listening as he's saying this. Oh my god, it's just the bus is the worst, man. Like you haven't had to ride public transportation in quite some time, but
no.
Man, I can't even begin to tell you. Just like Seattle transportation is awful. Like I remember there were these Mexican guys on the back, kind of like cholos. And
whoa, man.
Whoa, I mean, sorry. They were gangsters. They were gangsters. PC Manny, they were one of them had the teardrop and shit. The other one had like a skull and like a spider thing tattooed on his head. And this dude is playing his music super loud, crowded on the bus. And, everybody else knew, hey, we don't want to get shot. Let him play his shit, right? But some white lady in her like 50s, she's like, am I the only person who hears this shit? Am I the only person who hears this shit? And she literally is like, could you turn that shit down, sir? Could you turn that shit down? And he was like, he literally flips her off and turns it up more. And we all just put our heads down and we're like, shit. And I was like, dude, fuck that, man.
That's so funny. I did one of my daily videos I did a while back about, I'm like, Karens, we all have seen Karen videos and, Karens they're awful for people of color, right? But I was like, who have been affected the most by Karens is white people that actually have a valid issue with a person of color that they can't say anything. Like
exactly.
Because you're just, dude. This happened to me on when I flew from Boston after my shit got canceled when the pandemic. I'm on the plane.
Yeah.
Beautiful black couple in front of me. They have a cute little kid. Everybody's wearing masks except for the mom, and at one point she kind of like everybody has their masks on, and we've taken off, and her mask is like down here. It's around her ears, but it's like not covering. And she starts coughing, and you're like, I mean, I'm like, can anybody not white say something maybe? 'Cause I'm like. Because there's two ways, I mean, there were, and I talked to them towards the end, like their little girl was like looking at me. I was like, hey, and we all laughed or whatever. But yeah. But at the time, I'm like, okay, so there's two ways this is gonna go. I could be like, hey, could you maybe put your mask on, and maybe she would be like, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, my fault, and maybe that's probably how she would have reacted, or the other one. And I'll be like, hey, do you think maybe you could put and she'll be like, oh, I bet you'd like that white man. You'd like to silence me, cover my mouth. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I know. So then I just, in that scenario, I just was like, well, I guess if I get COVID, I get COVID. Fuck it.
Exactly. I mean, I'll tell you a story after this, but you
can't tell it here? You don't need PR,
I'll tell it here. No, yeah. So, I mean, look, I grew up around black women. I love black women, but everybody knows when a black woman is mad, you just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And so
I love that. By the way, I love that you preface this story like you're a white person telling this story. You're like, hey guys, I know a lot of black people. I have black friends, Oh
my God. So it's a late night. I forget. I must have been at a show or something. Got off. It must have been around like 10. I get on the bus to go home, and I'm on the bus, and there's these 3 women in the back. They got their kids back there, and this Mexican guy gets on the bus, probably like a few stops in, and he sits next to like one of her kids, and she's like, ugh. She's like, that's hella weird. Like, and he was like an immigrant, and like couldn't really say, like, he wasn't, sorry, that was rude. He wasn't an immigrant. He just had a deep accent, and like he,
I mean,
you know,
what? Oh, is it rude to say that you're assuming he's an immigrant? Is that
exactly,
why you were like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. You don't know if he was an immigrant or not. All right.
I don't know if he was, but he didn't speak English very well.
Can you say illegal?
No.
I'm joking. I'm taking it worse.
So anyways, he's not really talking, you know, and he's just sitting there kind of quiet, and she's like, could you like move? Like there's not a lot of places for him to sit. And I'm sitting there on the bus, right? I'm sitting in the like probably like 3 or 4 away, but I can see everything that's going on. And she's like, could you please move? That's kind of weird that you sit next to my son. You know what I mean? You gotta sit right next to him. And he's just like, I don't know. And so like this shit just keeps going on. And you know, I remembered being bullied by girls like that. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta do something, right? So I get up and like I tap her on the shoulder, and she's like, what? I was like, this is my stop. I gotta get out of here. And so I just fucking walked past her and didn't do shit. So
you fucking pussed out.
I got off early too.
I can just see you like building up in your head. You're like, okay, you know what? I'll be respectful, but I gotta be firm. I'm gonna be like, ma'am, he doesn't speak English. He doesn't understand. You know what? Okay, Manny, you can do this. Let's go. Excuse me, man. What? Hey, can I just gotta get off this. Stop it. Oh,
that's exactly what happened. Oh my god!
I gotta say, it is great though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not coming from that oblivious white perspective or whatever, or you know, not recognizing certain things. Not coming from that, I should say. It is fun as a white person where you like on a bus or you're somewhere. And a white person thinks that they're gonna go try and tell something to a person of color, and I'm just like this, just like, okay, this is gonna be fun. And maybe they're like, yeah, they're kind of loud over there. Should I say something? I'll be like, yeah, you should.
Oh my god, it's so good, man. It just it's so entertaining. It just brightens my day to know that it wasn't me who did that, you know.
Oh god, dude, it reminds me of have you heard the Patrice O'Neill bit about I think it was the phone company, and they like weren't there's something dude. So for those listening, if you don't know the bit, he has something, it was some joke, like he said he went to the phone company and he was like, yeah, my phone, I need a replacement. And they're like, no, we can't do it. And he was like, don't make me, I got a black woman. My lady, she's black. I don't, you can deal with me, or I can release the hounds, or whatever he fucking says.
Yeah, because she was like growling. She's like, in the back and shit. And then he like let her go, and then she was like, now I got 2 free phones and ain't got to pay the bill for like. Dude, Patrice was such a beast. Oh God, so good, man. So
the fucking best. Yeah. Fuck. So I wanted to go back to your improv thing on. So is this a beginner's improv, or is this like people that have done it before?
These are people who have done it before. So this is like, they're all experienced. They've been doing it for years. And really and truly, I only got into it because my friend Annie, like I've known her since childhood. And so like, I really feel like I've always known I've wanted to work with her. But it's like we're in 2 different worlds. I'm in stand-up. She's in improv. So the most logical thing is for me to go over and team up with her on that. We did a film together. That was fun. But, those are so few and far in between. But, yeah, the improv thing is fun. We get to kind of play, be big kids. But it's just tough because it's like, you don't... I do feel like an outsider in it. Because it's like all I see or hear is you in the corner just like, look at him, he's so stupid, just so.
Now, are you guys, once shit opens back up, are you guys going to perform in front of people?
That's what I guess the idea is, but by that time I'll be done,
I might fly up.
No, by that time I'll be back in stand up, and that'll be my full focus. Like I'm really like after this after Comedy Central posted my thing, it was just a reminder of like how good.
You're like, I used to do comedy.
Yeah, for real. You know what I mean? It's like you forget because of the pandemic. Like, yeah, I was pretty good at this, and not to toot my own horn, but all the love people were showing in the and that's the thing, never read the comments on anything. But like 90% of it was all love, and people were like, dude, this guy is funny. This guy, I love the misdirection. I love this. I love that. And it's like, I went to Facebook, I went to Instagram, I went to YouTube, and it's like 40,000 views on each of them, and everybody saying good shit about it. And, so it really, and it almost got me into Just for Laughs, so it really tells you that it's like, okay, you've got something, so you got to keep it, pushing. And who knows, man, that's always been our dream is, whoever makes it, bring the next one up. So
yeah, dude. I mean, like that's why I have so much respect for like Kevin Hart. For how he did with the Plastic Cup Boys. I think that's how it should be, And also, like,
for sure,
I've heard a lot of people shit on Cat Williams, but I've heard of stories of him like taking care of people, and
everybody
that doesn't get all the publicity of him, doing whatever he's doing negative, so to speak, that people want to advertise or put out there. But yeah,
but I mean, he had like Red Grant. He had I think Melanie Camacho,
Leslie Jones
in it one, or I don't know if it was her, but Leslie Jones, and then also Lunel, man, so he really opened the door more so. I mean, these people were already kind of in, but he opened the door more so for these people to really get big. And I mean, that's the ideal is like, you look at what Kev on Stage is doing. He is, he's making his way and he's bringing up his people with him, which is, genius. So.
Yeah. And I mean, with that, like making your way in the world today, it takes everything you got.
Wouldn't you like to
get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. So, speaking of which, speaking of Kevin knowing your name, did you see the video I posted yesterday about that interview he had with Doug Williams?
Not yet.
Oh my God! You know who the comic Doug Williams, not Redskins quarterback. This is your conscience, dude. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Okay, yeah.
That was a brutal roast.
So for those that haven't seen the video or don't know what I'm talking about, a couple things. So Doug Williams is a comic. Way back you may have seen a clip of him and not know who that it was him. So way back in the day, there was 10 years ago or whatever, Shaq's Comedy All-Star Roast, I think it was called. Jamie Foxx was the host, and there's all these comics on there, and they were going up and they were roasting each other. Well, there's this comic at the time that wasn't as well known. His name was Doug Williams, or his name is Doug Williams. Doug Williams goes up and pretty quickly, I mean, I thought it was fucked up what Jamie Foxx did, but pretty quickly, Jamie Foxx, who has his mic is hot, even though Doug is up to roast. And as Doug is doing jokes, Jamie starts whispering in his mic that comes over everybody's. He's like, "This is your conscience. Might want to try a different joke." And then he just starts ripping on him with that, and Doug would say something back, and then Jamie would be like, "This is your conscience. Might want to wrap it up," and all, dude, he's just, it was brutal, man. I was like, fuck, dude, that's so fucked up. So you can look that up. So you can watch that, see that. Just do Doug Williams Shaq All-Star Roast Jamie Foxx, and it'll come up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a while back, I don't know when, but Kev on Stage, I guess posted that, and he did a daily video about it or talked about it or whatever. It started getting rewatched, and then people hit up Doug Williams about it. And Doug commented on it. He's like, "My family's seen this. My kids seen this. I'm fine with it. No big. It's all good." So then Kev, being how nice Kev is, Kev actually emailed or DM'd Doug and was like, "Hey, I wasn't trying to come at you or whatever. This just came into my head and I just posted it. I hope there's no ill will, blah, blah, blah." So that's all the story leading up to Comedy Hype. Comedy Hype News did an interview, like a Zoom interview, with Kev was on it and Doug Williams was on it, right? So, dude, you have to watch this. It's or just watch my video. It sums it up. Basically, it was the one I did yesterday. So the lady's like, "Yeah, Kev on Stage and Kev blah blah blah," and then she goes, after a few minutes, and then we have Doug Williams is here and they're talking, and Doug Williams then starts going, "Yeah, man, when Kevon posted that," and then for the next 20 minutes, he keeps calling Kev Kevon. And Kev is so nice, he never corrects him. And it's dude, it's so funny because it's the fucking Hollywood horseshit stuff where Doug is like, I'm a big fan of Kevon's, and he's a hard worker, and I always appreciate everything Kevon does. And I'm like, are you a big fan of Kevon's? You fucking idiot.
Wait, so you don't think that it was an actual misinterpretation with since it's Kev on stage that he's thinking it's Kevon, and then
some people were saying that was Doug being petty and was doing that intentionally.
Gotcha.
I think it might have been that he saw Kev on stage and he thought his name was Kevon, or he was going. Right. But that's not even my issue. Okay, so maybe somebody does. That's all fine. You don't know the person, right? You don't know them. You don't know what their name is. But then don't say you're a big fan if you don't know how to say the fucking guy's name. You fucking full of shit. That's what.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what cracked me up, because he was on this. He was like, I see what Kevon's doing out there, and I just this young brother, he's doing it, and he's finding his own way, and I'm a big fan of everything Kevon does, and I watch Kevon's videos, and I'm like, almost every video, Kev's like, it's your boy Kev on stage. So if you've watched like one video, you would know that it's Kev.
Exactly. Oh man,
dude. So I did a video about that, and I was just like, you'll probably appreciate how I spliced it up.
Well, that's it's so funny because you've got some of these celebrities that will come at the lesser, act, and in my opinion, I think Kev is bigger than Doug, and he's got more followers, more fandom, all this stuff. But I mean, when Quincy Jones did his HBO special.
The comedian, just so people know.
The comedian. Yeah, the comedian. Shang came at him and was basically saying it was just a Make-A-Wish Foundation special, and lit him up, and they kind of went back and forth at it. And it's just like, man, some of that petty shit, it's just like, let it go, man. Like, if this dude dies, are you going to feel good about what you just did? But
you should. I mean, so for those that don't know, Quincy Jones, comic from Seattle, lives in LA now. He got diagnosed with was it stage 4 mesothelioma or whatever the fuck it's called?
Yeah,
is that what it's called? I'm not trying to discount what he has. When I say whatever the fuck it's called, it's because I'm dumb and I don't know the proper term. I'm hoping. I don't know. I could be saying breast cancer and not know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyways, so but Quincy got diagnosed with that, and some friends of his put together some videos where he's like, this is a comic, and we don't know how much time he has, and he has dreams and goals. Long story short, he ended up getting on Ellen, and then Ellen pushed it, and HBO gave him a special, or he got a special through HBO. I think he did the Tonight Show or David Letterman or something, or one of those.
Yeah, or Conan, and a bunch of different ones. I think that they had him on. So So
he did that, and then and then Shang was saying. Shang Forbes, good comic, I guess, was saying it was like a Make-A-Wish or whatever. Which, I mean, even if it is, who gives a fuck, dude? I'm like,
exactly.
Do you want that to be what you're known for? Oh, you were the guy that was shitting on the dude that's dying. That fucking
exactly. Yeah. Do you really want to be that guy? And it's just like, I mean, that's the thing, that I think we learned early is there's room for everybody to win in this industry. And you don't got to shit on people, or you don't have to try to make yourself look bigger than the next guy. It just be funny and be undeniable, man. That's what we always talk about. So
yeah, somebody was asking, excuse me, on Facebook. It's a casting director. Actually, she's a friend of mine, but she had asked. She's like, comics. How do you react when somebody says another comic? Oh, they don't deserve that, or this, that, or why they get that and not me or something. And it was interesting reading like bitter comments, and I'm like, I don't really, I don't look at it as a competition. I'm just in competition with myself.
Right.
I don't really give a fuck what the next man does, comedically or on stage. Or in front of me, or whatever, I'm focused on me.
Dude, and that's the best way to be. It's like, if you're trying to keep up with, I'll never be able to keep up with Jeff Dye. You know what I mean? He grew up right down the street, but Jeff is Jeff. I'll never be able to keep up with Tony Rock. Tony's Tony. It's like there's a lane for us all, and you just got to stay in your own lane, and who gives a shit?
Oh yeah, so. I can't keep up with you. I can't keep up with. It's not even a keep up thing. It's like I'm not you. I'm not Kev. I'm not anybody. And the other thing too is I was just talking to this comic last night, actually, this dude Jay, and we were talking about the appreciation of different comics, because I like what I like is all over the spectrum. I love Stephen Wright. I think he's a genius, and he created like almost like his own style. The one-liners, are like that monotone, just just going one from the other. I love Patrice O'Neal. I think he was a genius. But then I also love, and this is what me and the comic were talking about, Nick Swartzen fucking kills me, dude. Like it's not, it's just pure funny to me. Like there's no, he doesn't have any underlying message. But dude, he fucking is just so funny to me. Martin Lawrence, dude. Martin Lawrence. I don't think Martin gets enough respect for his stand-up. How fucking good he was. I mean, everybody knows this from hosting, Def Jam. But dude, his specials and his facial expressions and his act outs just fucking destroy me. It's so good.
Seriously. And that's the thing. It's like everybody has something. You know what I mean? It's like I love Cat Williams and how he'll personify an animal and how he does his. There's just little things about him and his energy on stage, his mannerisms. I love Bill Bellamy, man. Bill Bellamy is probably one of the funniest comics that I don't think gets enough credit for all the shit he does. I mean, he's animated on stage. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that there are so many different styles and there's enough room for everybody to get in and, make something happen. So,
yeah. And tying it back to, and this is one of the things I love about Kev and his stand-up is tying it back to, when we were talking about improv and like, you have to be yourself. Kev on stage, Kev on stage is, I mean, that's, it's him. It's his stand-up is him. He's not. There's nothing fake about him. He's true to himself, which I respect. And he's hilarious. And he's fucking. So I mean, he just people crack me up. He just fucking kills me. But this is a perfect place to end it. Real quick, do you have any improv Zoom shows you want to plug? Can I sit in on one and just watch?
No. I'm sure they're gonna kick me out after this podcast, so whatever.
Yeah, no, fucking listen to this.
Yeah.
I'll start at the beginning. I'll just say a bunch of swear words, cunt, biznatch, and then they'll fucking be like, "Ugh, I can't listen to this," and then they'll be like the barrier.
I just Love in Black and White, man. Episode 8 will be out soon, and we got some hot juicy topics for you on there. So
I saw the fucking good shit. And we got if you want to write in, Phil will be back 99% sure he'll be on the next episode, and he can give the email. You can email that. If you have anything you want to email for the HollingsWorthless right now or for Love in Black and White, BigIrishJ@gmail. I don't have anything to plug because everything's getting fucking canceled. I have some other shows that I actually got to talk to Sean and make sure see if he's down to get the audio shit, and then we can start doing these 2 podcasts we want to do, or 2 shows. 2 shows. I want to say shows, but that's it. Until next week, Manulus.
Can I? Wait.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to. Can we do like a ghost interview for Halloween in like? Well, actually, no, because Phil will be on.
So I emailed a guy because every year I try and do a HollingsWorthless, like a haunted one. And I emailed a dude that he bought a ghost town in California that he currently lives by himself there, and it's fucking creepy as shit. I messaged him on DM. I DM'd him, but I haven't heard anything back. So I got to try and find his email because Shannon was like, "I'm down to drive up there." So we were like, "All right, let's see what he says."
All right. Well, shit. Let me know.
We can. We'll see. We could probably do both. Or if we do go up there.
Cool.
Yeah, and that also kind of relates to one of the shows Sean and I are talking about doing, but we can talk about that later. Okay, let's
stay tuned, people. All right.
Bye. Phil will be back. Okay, bye.